Today's a day to take action on your dreams. And I want you to believe that you can do it. Take the first step. And tomorrow you'll be glad you did what you did today.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Donnie Bryant. Previously, episode 697 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 11 months, 3 days, 22 hours, and 15 minutes since we last had that recorded conversation.
It's not about just the adjectives and the big shiny word, but the most important thing is to find that idea that will make a difference for somebody and then help them make the right decision for themselves.
That was then. This is now. Donnie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am excellent. I'm excellent as can be. I remember when we were talking, in fact, just right there, I was like, my mind ticks so quickly. It's like D, B, and then the C. The C needs to be in there. Ooh, if you change it wrong, it's B, C, D. It's like Bryant, the copywriter, Donnie.
I like that. I never thought about that.
Oh, it's intriguing, isn't it? So what are you doing? Are you still doing copywriting?
I am.
Wow.
It's about almost exactly the same thing as I was doing when we last spoke.
That's intriguing. Well, that's great, though. Isn't that speak to another C, which is consistency?
In life, there's only maybe 2 or 3 things that I'm pretty good at, and so I try to stick to those things.
And then there's another C, which is Chicago, which puts
Yes,
you
sir.
as the most interesting copywriter in Chicago. Are you still there?
Yes, sir. I'm suburban, but yes, sir.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So tell me, how has it evolved? I'm sure it has.
I charge more money as anybody else. Your skills get better day by day as you consistently go out and shine your light. And I feel like I'm getting better day by day, or I'm trying to.
I think it's the law of diminishing returns as well, right? So you understand that you have less time and
Yes.
you need to do better work, and it's important to charge accordingly, isn't it?
Yes. And accordingly, there's fewer things that you can take on because of the standard that you set for your own performance. Back in the day, I would work with 5, 6 clients at a time. I don't have the bandwidth to do that and perform at the level that I want. So it's 2 or 3 tops that I can work with at a time just to maintain the quality of work that I want to produce.
Okay.
Without burning myself all the way out.
That's great. Yeah, I remember when we spoke, it was like 6 hours a day you were reading. Are you still reading that much?
Some days, yes, it can be very long. In the past month, I've probably spent, that's about right.
Wow.
Yeah, between 4 and 6. And then I'm writing 4 tops. All research and getting the material that I need to write what, will be effective.
There's something that speaks about our conversation of the word I focused on was copy. And you said that you don't create, and I'm paraphrasing here, you don't create it, you copy. And the way you copy is by reading, and the content then comes. It's intriguing how many people are not doing that, though. They're sitting there attempting to create something from thin air. You're starting with a challenge, aren't you, when you do that approach?
Yes, absolutely. Maybe people, they're under the wrong impression of what creativity is. Maybe not. To create something completely from nothing is creative. But when we're communicating with other people, in many ways, there's already pre-existing structures and concepts and feelings in place. You and I, we speak. The words that we use, we both previously understand them. If I created a brand new word, what are you talking about? So you build on what's already there. In copywriting, we try to build on ideas that the reader's already understanding. Hopefully they're already thinking about, and hopefully already have strong feelings about. And that way you don't have to convince them of anything. You just show them how to do the thing that they already want to do. So, rather than creating something brand new, you just find out what they already kind of want and then just present it to them in a way that is really compelling for them. And hopefully they haven't seen it exactly that way before.
Yeah. Again, if we were to tie when you shared that your grandmother had a library of over 25,000 books, right? That's the view then. It's given to you that reading is powerful and there are books to read. And
Absolutely.
That's there. It's like a subliminal, isn't it?
Yeah, and probably more than I even realized. It's informed everything about how I approach work and life, I think.
Do you think it's powerful in itself, like the books being there? Because by no means did she read all of those books, right? But
I,
I was wondering in preparing. You think so?
she reads a lot. I don't think that she read all of them. It
Yeah.
would have been very hard, very difficult.
But do you think that there's a power in having those books just around her, though, and the power that transcends generations?
Absolutely. When you grow up in an environment surrounded by something, you take for granted that there's no shortage of that thing. If you
Hmm.
grow up in a house with money, you just assume that there's money everywhere. And actually, studies have shown when people, at least in America, but it's probably true everywhere, people who grow up in a household with affluence, even when they're less competent and capable, they go out in the workplace and do better
Hmm.
because they assume certain things and then they fit in into the groups with other people who are also affluent, which gives them a step ahead of people who may be more intelligent or capable but don't have that background. So anyway, I grew up in a household filled with knowledge and accessibility to anything that you want to know. And so I think maybe I just assume anything I want to know, I can go learn it easily. I
Hmm.
can go find it. And it just feels to be true. So that you operate like that. I think that's true. I didn't even think about the way that you phrased it or the way you've positioned it. I think you're right.
Hmm. Well, it brings us to, like, philosophically, the concept of manifestation. And I mean, you can melt that up like cheese on a burger bun, right? With the concept of the law of attraction, right? It's
Sure.
like you are walking in the confidence that no matter what the business model, there's copy that you can articulate for the person that needs to understand how it can benefit them. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. It's intriguing. All right. So, how do people connect with you, Donnie? Those that want to get this level of copywriting done.
My website is at donnie-bryant.com.
Hmm. I'm guessing, though, that the website isn't your main focus for bringing in business. I'm guessing it's word of mouth by now.
Interestingly, business comes to me. So I have people coming that make inquiries through the website. I get people sending me messages on Facebook. I don't spend a ton of time on Facebook, but I am there. I actually run two groups on Facebook. I just don't pay attention to them.
Hmm.
And I get referrals, but I stick with clients generally for a long time. So right now, when people come to me, I'm almost always passing them on to a colleague of mine because I just don't have the bandwidth for them or their project. It's not necessarily my strong suit, and I know somebody who could step right in and do it really quickly rather than me having to learn something new. So, if you wanted to reach out to me, Donnie-Bryant.com is a good way. I'm on Facebook. There's a few Donnie Bryants, but I think I'm the only copywriter.
You had 4 children. Do you still have 4 children?
Oh yeah, I'm not doing any more of that.
Now, how has what you've been doing impacted them?
Well, I'm very blessed to be able to work from home. So I'm able to be here to get my kids up in the morning, send them to school, be home when they come home from school. So, I mean, just to be present with them. They know I'm working, but I'm able to be here. Not everybody has that privilege.
Yeah, yeah, I know the feeling. So you're married still, right? How
Yeah,
has your wife supported everything you're doing?
she makes it all possible. She's an amazing wife, terrific mother. Like, I couldn't do anything without her, really. She lets me do my thing and she handles everything else. I don't know. I couldn't pay the electric bill if I wanted to. She does it all and takes care of me, and she makes it all possible.
One of the things we've been having, I had a few guests that passed. I think it's something I always spur on. Amanda is like, I don't want to have that conversation, but have you had that conversation of death? How do you
Yeah,
interact with that?
I think about it more than I probably should. We have life insurance in place. We're trying to figure out everything else, though, in terms of, for the kids, where's the right home situation for them to take care of everything.
Hmm.
So we do talk about it, think about it. We don't have it all planned out yet. Hopefully, we won't have to figure it out
Yeah,
too soon.
yeah, I know the feeling. But it's such an important conversation,
It is.
specifically
It is.
from going after your goals, isn't it? Like, I
Yes.
mean, in reflection, Donnie, do you have any regrets when you look back on making that decision to go into this full time?
Absolutely not. My one regret would probably be I should have started sooner, which
Hmm.
my wife actually told me this. She told me I could have been 3 years ahead. I should have had more confidence in myself in the beginning. I knew this is going to be my career and I know I'm going to be able to do well at this. I was kind of, I hope this works, and I sabotaged myself in a way by doing that. So, I mean, not regrets about what I did, but maybe regrets about the intensity with which I went about it.
Yeah, I appreciate you being honest with that. I've had a similar experience, and I'll share it on the road when we were going across the 48 states and Canada.
Yeah.
I had to listen to episodes before I met with people. Of course, I couldn't remember everyone until I listened to it. Yeah. And, there are parts where at the beginning I was like, oh, you said that? Or, oh, no. But then there were parts where the older me would go, and then the younger me right after would say, And I realized to myself that the younger version of me did well with everything that was there and where I was at that time. So I think there was healing there, right? And forgiving the younger me. So I hope that helps you.
That's beautiful. I think of it like, when you look at your yearbook from high school and you wonder, why did I wear that outfit? What's with that smirk that I've got on my face? It just was such a goofball back then. But it's how you get where you are. You have to go through that phase. And everyone, when they look back, they say, oh, I was a different version of me. But that's how you become who you are. Like you said, you can forgive and maybe even laugh at the path. I think that's good, man. I think it's healing and productive.
Love it. Donnie, I really appreciate this conversation, just like I did last time. I'm sorry I waited so long to do this again, but you bring value, my friend, and I appreciate that tremendously. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, well, you're amazing. Today is a day to take action on your dreams, and I want you and your audience to believe that you can do it. Take the first step. And tomorrow you'll be glad you did what you did today.
Love it. Coming from the guy whose first two letters in his name spells do, Donnie Bryant.
I didn't think about that either, but I love it, man.
A pleasure. I treasure, I pleasure. My friend, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.